Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know we're in a period of seismic shifts, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are right in the thick of it. It's not just about what's happening on the field. It's about the strategic moves, the roster changes, and the overall direction this franchise is heading. And trust me, what the Steelers are doing this offseason isn't just random. It's calculated, deliberate, and could very well set the tone for their future in the AFC North and beyond. Let's start with the big headline, because honestly, this offseason has been nothing short of blockbuster for the Steelers. They made a splash with their biggest signing of the year, bringing in none other than Aaron Rodgers. Yes, you heard right, Aaron Rodgers, the future Hall of Famer, coming to Pittsburgh to finish his illustrious career. Now you might be thinking, is this just a veteran signing for the sake of experience? Well, not quite. Rodgers isn't just here to collect a paycheck, he's here with a mission. The goal? Lead this team back into the playoffs, and more specifically, to finally taste that elusive playoff victory since 2016. It's been a long drought, and for Steelers fans, it's been frustrating to see a team with such a rich history struggle to get over that hump. Now, Rodgers brings a wealth of experience, leadership, and a competitive mindset that's unmatched. But what's really interesting is how this signing is shaping the roster overall. The Steelers, under Mike Tomlin's guidance, have always been about building a team that's tough, disciplined, and versatile. Adding Rodgers is like injecting a quarterback who can elevate the entire offense, but it's not just about him. The front office has been aggressive in bolstering the roster around him, making sure they have the pieces needed to compete at the highest level. And speaking of roster moves, the Steelers didn't stop there. They've been busy, folks. Just recently, they made a blockbuster trade for DK Metcalf. Yep, that's right, the Seahawks' star receiver. Now, this isn't just a splash move, it's a statement. The Steelers are clearly aiming to upgrade their passing game, and Metcalf's addition brings that big play threat that the team has desperately needed. Metcalf, with his combination of size, speed, and route running ability, instantly upgrades Pittsburgh's receiver core and adds a serious downfield weapon for Rodgers. But wait, it gets even more intriguing because, with DK's arrival, the Steelers also made a bold move by trading away George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, this might seem like a setback at first glance, losing a young, talented receiver, but in reality, it's part of a larger plan. The Steelers are reshaping their receiving core, and while Pickens was a fan favorite, they are clearly prioritizing a mix of veteran savvy and proven production. Plus, the addition of DK Metcalf might signal that the Steelers want to focus on a more explosive, big-play offense, rather than relying solely on developing young talent. And yet, the Steelers' moves don't stop there. They've also acquired Darius Slay from the Philadelphia Eagles, a veteran cornerback who's known for his shutdown abilities and leadership in the secondary. Adding Slay gives Pittsburgh a much-needed boost in the defensive backfield, where they've been searching for consistency and playmaking ability. The Steelers have always prided themselves on their defense, especially under the franchise's historic legacy of tough, physical football. Bringing in a player of Slay's caliber shows they're serious about reestablishing that identity. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Rumors are swirling about Pittsburgh's latest trade targets. Just this week, the Steelers swung a deal to acquire Jalen Ramsey, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, from the Miami Dolphins. Ramsey, a player known for his lockdown coverage and fiery competitive spirit, instantly upgrades their secondary and adds depth that could be pivotal in high-stakes games. But more than that, it signals the Steelers' intent to be aggressive and to compete now, not just rebuild. And to top it all off, they also brought in tight end Jonnu Smith, who recently played with the Dolphins. Smith brings versatility to the offense, capable of lining up in multiple positions, and could be a valuable safety valve for Rodgers, especially in third-down situations. So the Steelers are clearly stacking their roster with a mix of big names, proven veterans, and young talent, all aimed at maximizing their chances this season. But with all these moves, you might ask, is this team done? Are they finished with their offseason shopping? Well, if you ask me, the answer is a resounding no. The Steelers have always been known for their strategic approach, building through the draft, making bold trades, and always staying flexible to adapt to the league's evolving landscape. Their front office, led by GM Omar Khan, has shown a willingness to swing for the fences, and I believe there are still some tricks up their sleeves. Now, let's talk about the wide receiver position specifically. It's been a bit of a roller coaster lately. DK Metcalf's arrival might have coincided with the trade of George Pickens, but that doesn't necessarily mean the Steelers are done at receiver. In fact, there's been buzz about veteran receiver Gabe Davis, who recently visited the Steelers facility. Davis, who spent time in Buffalo and Jacksonville, is known for his big play ability, especially in the playoffs with Josh Allen. His size, speed, and explosiveness could add a new dimension to Pittsburgh's passing attack. However, Davis's visit ended without a deal, at least for now. Steelers insider Mark Kaboly suggested that this was more of a courtesy visit, a kind of test-the-waters situation. He indicated that the Steelers might not see Davis as a late addition, especially if other options are available or if his injury history raises concerns. Davis had a torn meniscus last year, which complicated his free agency and possibly made some teams hesitant to commit fully. Still, the fact that Pittsburgh showed interest indicates they recognize the potential impact he could have if healthy. And here's where the strategy gets clever. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported that Davis remains an option for the Steelers later in training camp, depending on how the team's current receivers perform. It's about patience, about evaluating talent as camp progresses and injuries or performance issues arise. The Steelers want to ensure they get the right fit, the right chemistry, and they're willing to wait if it means getting a player who can truly stretch defenses. So, what does all this mean for Steelers fans? It means the team is serious about contending, about making a run deep into the playoffs this year. The roster is being assembled with a mix of veteran savvy, explosive playmakers, and young talent with upside. The quarterback position, of course, is the centerpiece. Rodgers is the veteran leader who can elevate the entire offense, but he needs weapons, and the Steelers are actively making sure he's got what he needs. The offensive line remains a question mark, but with the talent they've accumulated and the coaching staff's focus on development, there's hope that they'll gel as the season progresses. Defensively, the Steelers are retooling their secondary, which has historically been their calling card. The addition of Ramsey and Slay provides a formidable duo that can lock down top receivers, and the pass rush, led by the likes of T.J. Watt, remains one of the league's best. The Steelers' defense has always been about creating turnovers, setting the tone, and imposing their will on opponents. With these new additions, they aim not just to be good, but to be dominant. In terms of the schedule and expectations, it's clear that Pittsburgh is aiming high. The AFC North is no longer a two-team race. It's a fierce division with the Bengals, Ravens, and Browns all vying for supremacy. The Bengals, with Joe Burrow and that explosive offense, and the Ravens, with Lamar Jackson and a stout defense, are formidable opponents. The Browns, with their revamped roster and strong defense, are also in the mix. But the Steelers, with their strategic acquisitions and the leadership of Tomlin, believe they can take that next step and challenge for the division title again. And let's not forget their history. The Steelers have always been about resilience, about overcoming adversity, about doing things the hard way. That's part of their identity, and it's what makes them a perennial playoff team. They've been to the Super Bowl 6 times and won 6 Lombardi trophies. They've built a culture that emphasizes toughness and grit, and this offseason appears to be a continuation of that tradition. Aggressive, strategic, and focused on winning now. So as we look toward the season, there's a lot to be excited about. The talent infusion, the leadership, the coaching, and the relentless drive to be at the top of the AFC all point to a potential resurgence. The Steelers are positioning themselves not just as contenders, but as a team that can surprise everyone and make a deep playoff run. It's a fascinating time to be a Steelers fan, and I can tell you, expectations are high, but the team is showing they're ready to meet them. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these moves? Do you believe this roster is enough to finally get over the playoff hump? Are you excited about Rodgers leading the offense, or do you think they need more weapons? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. We love engaging with you, and your insights help keep the passion alive. Remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned, keep the faith, and let's continue to support our beloved Steelers through every twist and turn this season brings. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's go Steelers!